All right, so we've been following the NBA season, right? And you're probably looking for like a quick recap of some of the weekend's biggest games.
Absolutely. Yeah, big weekend of action for sure.
We're going to do exactly that. We're going to break down three big matchups: Pistons versus the Nets, the Hawks took on the Pelicans, and then the Mavericks going up against the Magic. And each of these games had some real, like, mind-blowing moments, so stick with us.
Yeah, there were some real surprises this weekend, that's for sure.
Okay, so first up, the Pistons actually beat the Nets.
Yeah.
And get this, they had six players, scoring in double digits.
Wow.
Yeah, Tobias Harris, Malik Beasley, Jaden Ivey, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jalen Duren. And leading the way was Cade Cunningham with 19 points. I mean, this is huge for a team that, let's be honest, has really struggled in the past to find that kind of consistent scoring.
It's true. It's true. It's really interesting to see the Pistons, who have been, rebuilding and trying to find their identity for a while now, suddenly have this really balanced attack. If they can keep this up, they could become a real threat. What's even more impressive is that they did this against the Nets, who, even though they were missing some key players, still have some serious offensive weapons.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Cameron Johnson, he put up a good fight for the Nets, finished with the 26 points. But it just wasn't enough. The Pistons' defense was just locked down, especially in that fourth quarter. I mean, they held the Nets to only 15 points.
Yeah, you could really feel that momentum shift, that kind of defensive intensity. It's contagious, and it completely shut down any chance of a Nets comeback.
Yeah, totally.
I'm really interested to see if the Pistons can bring that same defensive energy to their next game when they go up against LeBron James and the Lakers.
Oh, yeah. Talk about a test. So that's going to be a good one to watch. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the Hawks. They took down the Pelicans, 126 to 111, and they also had some pretty balanced scoring going on six players with 11 or more points, including Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Nance Jr., and DeAndre Hunter. Now, you might be thinking, well, the Pelicans were missing some key guys. And yeah, you're right, they were, without some starters like Dejounte Murray, CJ McCollum, and Herb Jones. Plus, they were missing key reserve, Trey Murphy III.
They were. But even with all those missing players, got to give the Hawks credit. They didn't just win, they really dominated, especially when it came to controlling the paint. 66 points in the paint for the Hawks compared to only 32 for the Pelicans. That kind of performance inside really makes a statement no matter who's on the court. And for a team that's had some inconsistency this season, it shows they have a lot of fight in them.
Yeah, totally. And speaking of fight, they're going to need it. The Hawks have a really brutal schedule coming up. Back-to-back games against the defending champs, the Celtics. And right after that, they have to go up against a very good Portland team.
Oof. Yeah, talk about a trial by fire. If they can come out of that stretch with even a couple of wins, it'll really solidify them as a contender. Definitely going to be interesting to see how they adapt and who steps up for them.
All right. Last but not least, we got to talk about the Mavericks taking down the Magic. 108 to 85. Luka Doncic, well, he was Luka Doncic, putting up 32 points, grabbing 9 rebounds, and dishing out 7 assists. But even without some of their big names, like Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr., and Franz Wagner, who, by the way, is dealing with a torn oblique. Ouch. The Magic actually kept it close in that first quarter.
Yeah, they did. But then in the second quarter, the Mavericks just went on a tear. They had a 30-9 run in the first 9.5 minutes. That pretty much decided the game right there. Really shows you how good the Mavericks are at taking advantage of opportunities and putting the pressure on their opponents.
Yeah, no doubt. And their defense was also on point. The Magic only managed to score 85 points, well below their season average of 111.7. Plus, the Mavericks grabbed a season-high 53 rebounds. Was that because of all the players Orlando was missing, or was it just the Mavericks playing hard, or both maybe?
I think it was probably a combination of both. Even without those key players, the Magic are normally a pretty decent rebounding team, so got to give the Mavericks credit. They really focused on controlling the boards, and it worked.
Yeah, for sure. So 3 very different games, 3 pretty different stories. The Pistons showing some unexpected depth and toughness. The Hawks proving they can dominate even when their opponent is missing some players. And the Mavericks showing off their ability to take advantage of opportunities and shut things down defensively. Of those 3 wins, which one really stood out to you?
That's a tough one. They were all pretty impressive in different ways, but I think I have to go with the Pistons. To go on the road and beat a team like the Nets, even a shorthanded Nets team, that felt like a statement win, makes you wonder if maybe we've been underestimating them this whole time. Could they actually be a real contender in the East?
Interesting. That's the big question, isn't it? What about you? Which team's performance from this weekend has you rethinking how things might shake out in the NBA? And what are you going to be watching for as we head into the next week of games?
So many good storylines to follow.
I know, right?
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me too. Thanks for breaking down the weekend with me. We'll be back next week with another deep dive into all the NBA action.
Looking forward to it.
Catch you later.
See ya.